Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're still seeing a lot of people signing in. We'll be getting started shortly. Hi again. This is Vidita, your host for this webinar. Thank you for joining in. This session will be on the topic signs that you've outgrown your current e-commerce system. This is being co-hosted by Oracle, Mastic, and Evosis. This is the second part in a three-part series on shifting to a digital business model. With me, I have Rami Davich, the CX Commerce Solution Lead for Oracle, and Bhaskar Dhawan, the Digital Commerce Leader for Mastic. Rami and Bhaskar will be your presenters for today. In this session, you're on mute by design. If you have any questions, feel free to use the question icon or the chat box, and we'll be answering all your questions towards the end of the webinar. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. I'll let Bhaskar take it from here.
Thank you, Vidita. Hey, I'm Bhaskar Dhawan. I'm the digital commerce leader at Mastic, based out of New Delhi, India. And for last 15 years, I've been helping clients across the globe with their digital commerce transformation projects. I'll request Rami to quickly introduce himself, and then we can start the session.
Thanks, Bhaskar. So my name is Rami. I work out of our Sydney Oracle office. I am the CX Commerce Solution Lead for the JPAC region.
Thanks, Rami. All right, a quick introduction about Mastic. Evosis. We are a publicly traded company that provides global technology services focused on enhancing and streamlining our clients' front and back office applications. We support leading retailers and manufacturers in building direct-to-consumer channels for them. And we are highly specialized on e-commerce with almost 20 years of experience serving customers globally through our offices in North America, UK, Europe, Middle East, and APAC. So let's quickly look at the impact of COVID on e-commerce. The traditional sales channels have been disrupted with the impact of COVID and lockdown, and there has been an accelerated adoption of digital channels and e-commerce. We've seen 10 years of growth happening in just 3 months for e-commerce in the US, and e-commerce penetration has increased significantly in other geographies as well. There is a huge growth opportunity for businesses through e-commerce, but not all online businesses have the necessary tools or technology to meet the growing demands of online shoppers. There are many businesses struggling to provide uniform, personalized experiences to their consumers through their existing e-commerce channels. And then there are consumers who are frustrated either because of a poor site performance or inconsistent user experience. And at times, they are simply not able to place the order as the existing e-commerce sites of many businesses are not able to scale with the increase in traffic. And all this is impacting the brand loyalty as well as significant loss in revenue for these businesses. With more and more shoppers making online purchases, the consumer's trust in your brand will depend a lot on their online shopping experience and how satisfied and how happy they are with the experience that is delivered through the online channel. So let's look at the top 6 signs that may indicate that you've outgrown your current e-commerce system. Hey, Vidita, Rami, I'm hearing some disturbance. I'll request you guys to go on mute if you are not on mute as of now. All right, thank you. So increase in bounce rate. Increase in bounce rate indicates that many shoppers are leaving your site, meaning they are not buying. So your potential customers are not becoming part of your conversion funnel. 20 to 35% bounce rate is considered okay for e-commerce, but a high bounce rate means loss of revenue. And what can be the reason of high bounce rate? It can be site performance. Your homepage may be taking longer to load, and the shopper is simply not interested in browsing the site because of the poor performance. If there is an increase in traffic on your website and your existing e-commerce site is not able to scale with the increase in traffic, then this could seriously hamper the overall performance of your site, impacting your brand image. And then there are other reasons that could be lack of engaging content and experience on your site, a lack of personalization. And you should really look at, are you able to create user segments to create some advanced AI-enabled personalized content on the homepage to better engage your customers? And you should evaluate the capabilities of the business tools of your existing e-commerce platform. Are you able to make updates to the site content regularly, modify the user experience quickly without any IT intervention, or are you too dependent on your IT teams for every small and big change? And that is sometimes taking longer to actually deploy frequent changes to the experience of your website. Next is, you are not able to sell everywhere. If you're not selling on all the channels where your potential customers are buying, you are missing out on sales opportunities. Your e-commerce platform should make it easy for you to sell on multiple channels. Is your e-commerce platform having features which can help you easily integrate with marketplaces or support you sell in international markets, helping you with multi-currency or multi-language features? You should also look at, are your customers able to buy from different touch points or different devices, accessing your site from different browsers? Is your customer support desk getting increased calls in terms of shoppers complaining about your site not working correctly on a particular device or a browser? Do you find the UX of your site breaking with minor updates that you have just pushed and deployed on your site? If all this is the case, then you may not be leveraging a modern responsive storefront architecture for your site, and you may be losing a lot of customers because your site is just not working on all the devices. Next is increase in cart abandonment. So increase in cart abandonment can be a result of many factors. Some of the aspects we've just discussed are definitely the reason, like poor site performance, checkout pages breaking on particular type of device or a browser. And then the shopper behaviors is also changing with time, and we should be up to speed with what today's shopper wants. Today's shopper wants multiple options to make payments, right? If you have only credit card as an option and don't give them the option to pay through digital wallets like Apple Pay or Google Pay, then they may not place the order once they reach the payment page, right? They may have items added to the cart, but they will simply not place the order. And you really need to look at your existing e-commerce platform. Is it having the latest features, or at least has the architecture that supports you to innovate and deploy new features quickly? You should also look at your key business systems, whether they are talking to each other or not. Is your ERP or the PIM system or the OMS system, the inventory systems integrated seamlessly with your e-commerce system or not? The data inconsistencies across different systems and your e-commerce site may be impacting the overall customer experience, and thus increasing the cart abandonment. Next is reduce speed to market. So are you facing limitations in terms of content and customizations of your existing e-commerce site? Do you feel the features that you require are missing, and for every little functionality you need to do custom development or buy an add-on? Is it taking weeks and months to deploy new features on your e-commerce website? You may find your competition deploying new features in days, but your current commerce platform may not be that agile. And your business may lose out to the competition just because you are not able to deploy new features on your e-commerce site at a speed that you would like to do. Next is increase in security issues. Are you spending too much time managing the security vulnerabilities on your e-commerce site? using a lot of open source add-ons on your existing e-commerce site has its own advantages and disadvantages. There could be security vulnerabilities in that open source code which attackers may be able to use to their advantage. If you are hosting an e-commerce platform on your own servers, then you need to be prepared to protect it from distributed denial of service attacks, also known as DDoS. You need to take care of PCI compliance, and you need to ensure that your shopper's personal information as well as credit card information is not hacked. Ideally, your time, money, and energy should be going into innovating and deploying new features on your e-commerce site, thinking about new revenue stream, new business models that can help you drive more growth for your business. But if your time, money, and energy is going in taking care of all these day-to-day security related aspects, then definitely your e-commerce, your current e-commerce system will not be able to support the kind of growth that you're looking for. And lastly, do you see your total cost of ownership going up with time? Managing the infrastructure, the hosting, the operations, and maintenance of the e-commerce site can be very expensive if you are not on a SaaS platform. And we've worked with customers in the past. We are deploying simple e-commerce platform upgrades or patches will altogether take somewhere around 2 to 3 months, just doing the basic upgrades for them. And if you have this kind of challenge, then definitely you've outgrown your e-commerce system. Needless to say that all these signs result in a missed e-commerce growth opportunity for your business and customers' loss of trust in your brand. Now, while understanding the limitations of your current e-commerce system is important, but it is also important to focus on current and future needs of your consumers and your business. Today's shopper wants to shop anytime, anywhere through a channel of their preference and their convenience. They want consistent, personalized experiences, whether they are buying physically in store or through mobile or an iPad or a desktop computer. And businesses should focus on improving the overall omni-channel e-commerce customers experience for their consumers. E-commerce offers tremendous opportunity in terms of growing your business. Your e-commerce channel should be agile so that you can deploy new features in days and not months. The underlying platform and architecture should be able to support your business to enter new markets, create new revenue streams by integrating with marketplaces or supporting new business models and leveraging the benefits of subscription and experience economy for your business. I would now hand it over to Rami to talk about the Oracle CX commerce platform, which is AI ready, enterprise grade, and one of the most advanced and feature rich e-commerce platforms out there.
Thanks, Bhaskar. So Oracle invests in CX commerce regularly to ensure that the solution grows and is able to handle your changing circumstances and business requirements. Oracle focuses on making the solution enterprise class to manage scalability and security, ensuring a consistent user experience and being able to sell everywhere by connecting data, creating guided experiences to ensure low cart abandonment rates and bounce out rates, and rapid innovation with new features added to your solution on a quarterly basis. And finally, making the solution simple to use, thereby reducing your TCO. So one of the major signs of outgrowing your current e-commerce platform is scalability, where you're unable to meet that demand of your customers due to unexpected spikes. Being offline can cost thousands depending on the size of your organization, and it doesn't even speak to the damage that it can do to your brand. So Oracle CX Commerce is housed in Oracle's Gen 2 cloud infrastructure to ensure scalability, security, and stability, and that they don't become an issue for your business. With the Gen 2, Oracle is able to scale up as demand spikes and ensure that your storefront stays online and meets the demands of your customers. So Oracle CX is also designed to ensure that users are able to get the right experience online on your storefront. So robust integration allows you to connect your back office to your CX commerce to get a detailed picture of the customer in that moment. Using the data, CX commerce provides a much more consistent user experience by providing personalization driven by AI. It also allows you to sell across all channels. Bounce rates and cart abandonment are a sign of outgrowing your current solution, and it could be due to a number of reasons, such as speed or poor experience. CX commerce includes guided workflows, such as promotional messaging and digital assistance, to ensure that your customers are not leaving your site prematurely. Complex transactions can be simplified with step-by-step guides through complex configurations to ensure customers are not getting frustrated and jumping off. Possibly the main reason that you know that you've outgrown your current e-commerce vendor is not having the functionality you need at that point in time. So most smaller e-commerce vendors will lack the ability to continuously innovate, and it can take time for new features that your customers want and expect to be released. CX Commerce is updated on a quarterly basis with new and innovative features. With an API-first architecture and capabilities such as server-side extension, CX Commerce will provide you with the ability to innovate further to meet your business requirements. And finally, simplicity. Finally, we've made the solution relatively simple for you to reduce your total cost of ownership. CX Commerce is a SaaS solution, so Oracle looks after the day-to-day handling of the back end, allowing you to focus on your core business. The solution has a large number of features out of the box, which reduces your development time, and the technology used throughout CX Commerce is standard and not proprietary, so that when you do need to make those technical changes and you need those development resources, the skills are readily available at a cheaper cost. So, like I said, Oracle CX Commerce comes out of the box with a large range of features to get you started on day one, with some of those features appearing here on the slide. But the solution also grows with your business, providing extensibility capabilities such as API-first architecture, server-side extensions, and widgets. And all of this sits on top of the most advanced and secure architecture available for an e-commerce solution. CX Commerce is built with an API-first architecture. It includes content delivery optimization to reduce latency, and so therefore scales as required to ensure that your business is able to meet those high demand spikes. As I referred to earlier, one of those major reasons for outgrowing your current e-commerce solution is the lack of new features, or those features taking time to be released. CX Commerce is updated quarterly with key innovations and new functionality being released with each of those upgrades or updates. In the past 12 months, we've released over 100 new features into the solution, many which require very little to no configuration whatsoever to start working. And with that, I'll pass it back to Bhaskar.
Thanks, Rami. All right, now let's look at how to plan your migration, right? So before that, I just want to highlight, right, with our extensive experience on e-commerce and working on 19 different Oracle Commerce Cloud customers, and doing some of the migrations on OCC in the past, we've been able to develop the migration kit, which makes it super easy for our clients to migrate their e-commerce site to OCC. While we migrate them to OCC, taking advantage of all the modern features and the architecture, we do take care of the best practices in the area of UX, SEO, search, personalization, transactional commerce, and back office application integrations. So let's look at some of the key aspects in terms of how you should be planning your migration. We should clearly define the goals and expectations from the new e-commerce platform. Evaluate all the existing features that you would like to carry from your existing platform to your new platform, and review capabilities of Oracle CX Commerce and map what all existing custom features can be easily configured using the out-of-box OCC features or may require some development. A simple example could be that you may have created customizations related to pricing and promotions in your existing e-commerce platform, as your existing e-commerce platform may not be supporting certain promotion rules out of the box. But those customizations may not be required to build again on OCC, as OCC is able to come up with an advanced promotion rule engine. So this was just one example, but this kind of a mapping should be done just to ensure that you are able to leverage the out-of-box features wherever possible for your custom requirements on the existing platform that you had built. In terms of data migration strategy, we should look at how the data will be mapped and migrated for catalog, content, images, the shopper profiles. Over a period of time, you must have collected data for personalization data with respect to your customers. So all that should be migrated to OCC. And the cutover strategy will need to take into account things like in-flight orders, the orders that are getting placed on your existing e-commerce site while you are in process of deploying the new e-commerce portal on OCC. The SEO URL redirects should be taken care of, because you may have customers or shoppers who have bookmarked your existing product URLs, collection URLs, and your new OCC e-commerce site should be able to serve content if those URLs are still being hit by those shoppers. So SEO URLs redirects need to be set up. And then, of course, some of the integrations that are there in your existing commerce portal with respect to your OMS, with respect to your PIM systems, will need to be carried forward and will need to be built on your OCC site as well. This is how typical migration project will go. So we start with a deep dive discovery, which typically goes for 2 to 4 weeks, where we work with businesses to finalize the UX design, the functional requirement documents, and we work with the technical teams of our clients in understanding various integration touch points, preparing integration specification documents. And we also help the clients during this phase and help them understand the out-of-box OCC features, map what needs to be done in terms of building the customization or configuring the OCC out-of-box configurations. And post this phase, next 8 to 10 weeks will typically go into development and unit testing. We will do regular client demos to demonstrate the progress as well as incorporate any feedback during this phase. And last 3 to 4 weeks will typically go into doing the user acceptance testing, doing the trainings for business users, for merchandisers, or for call center agents, and then doing the launch preparedness activities, taking care of data migrations and planning for the cutover activities. And once you're live on the new e-commerce OCC e-commerce site, we usually continue to work with our clients in a managed services mode, where we continue to help them innovate, deploy new features so that they stay competitive in the market. So these are some of our e-commerce clients, and few of them are scratch implementation projects where they have kind of built their e-commerce site on OCC for the first time. And then there are customers like VisionWorks, PetMate, who were on a legacy platform and have migrated, and we've helped them migrate from that legacy platform onto OCC. Specifically talking about PetMate, I think they made approximately 40% of savings in terms of total cost of ownership when they went live with OCC. Existing e-commerce site that we just talked about and would like to connect for a detailed discussion, then please feel free to connect with us, drop us a note, and also stay tuned for our next webinar that focuses on B2B e-commerce strategies that is scheduled for 27th of October at the same time. And I think with this, we've come to the end of the slide deck. Vidita, we can now open lines for questions.
Yeah. Hi everyone. We are open for questions now. Please feel free to drop in your questions and use the chat or the question box in front of you. We'll be happy to answer them. So, Bhaskar, we have a couple of questions that have come in while we had the presentation. The first one is, what is the process in upgrading CX Commerce to take advantage of the new features? Rami or Bhaskar, either one of you can take this up.
I'll take this one. So with commerce, you get a production environment, but you also get 2 test or development environments. And the process is anytime there's a new update, we update one of your development environments. You go through a short period of testing to ensure that nothing has changed, the integrations are still working, and once you are satisfied and you're happy, then our cloud operations team will move it or will migrate it over to your production environment.
Okay, that's great. The second question that we have is, can you share with us some details about the scalability of CX Commerce that CX Commerce has achieved?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of experience working on OCC projects, right? We've almost worked with more than 19 customers now, and what we've seen is that absolutely there hasn't been any challenge with the OCC platform in terms of scalability. We've worked with customers in the US, and the peak sales season for them is the Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday. We've seen that we haven't faced any issues in terms of scalability during those days for them. And then we've worked for customers like Dubai Duty Free as well. They have their anniversary day sales in the month of December, and we've seen that their e-commerce site on that day was able to accept 5 times more orders that they usually accept on a day, right? With absolutely no changes, no modifications to be done on the storefront website. So the architecture of OCC is such, it's API first. The APIs do get scaled automatically. The storefront uses modern JavaScript frameworks and a responsive design. So the site is always able to support any additional load that is there on the site.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. We have one more. A big aspect of the upgrade is missing a PIM solution. What is the right product or solution for PIM? Do you want them to elaborate the question? Yeah.
Yeah, if you could, just to...
Yeah, could you please type again, and we'll be able to explain the question and we'll be able to answer it better. Yeah.
While we're waiting, so a product information management system. So I mean, Bhaskar can talk to what they've done, what they've implemented in the past, but I guess any ERP, most ERP solutions, large scale ERP solutions would hold product information. Oracle has their own versions. They've got a number of them actually. So any I guess any PIM solution that holds one product, inventory information, and possibly pricing information is the right solution. Bhaskar, what have you used, I guess, or what have you seen in the past when?
So what we've seen is that many of our customers are actually using the OCC's admin console to manage various aspects, right? The ERP system is kind of pushing the feeds for the catalog information, the SKU information, and those feeds, at times the ERP is sending the description and other aspects for the products. Otherwise, the admin console itself can be leveraged to manage the content for the products that are there on the OCC side. And we've seen customers using PIMcore and some of the other systems. A few of the customers, they are using some in-house developed systems as well, or using some third parties to manage and enhancing their product information.
Just further to that, the Oracle PIM it's called actually Oracle Product Information Cloud. So there is one, and Bhaskar's right. So Commerce also has its catalog in that can handle product information as well. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. So we do not have any more questions at the moment. Feel free to type in if you want your questions answered in this session. In case you have certain specific questions that need to be answered, feel free to write to us and we'll be happy to get back to you. So with this, I think, okay, we have, yeah. So with this, I think we can move towards the end of the session. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Don't forget to sign up for part 3 of this series. Leverage B2B e-commerce strategies for B2C e-commerce strategies for B2B. It's happening next week, same time. And we'll be sending you the link for the same. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so if you have any more questions, we've seen there's still some follow-ups there. We'll get in touch with you one-on-one to follow up more detailed discussion. Thank you. Have a nice day.